かです。
アルマです。
ジョシです。アルマ久しぶり。We missed you.
今日の企画は Problems as Bilingual Speakers。
イエーイ。
アルマはスパニッシュとイングリッシュと日本語がしゃべれる。で、ジョシも英語と日本語がしゃべれる。
Yes、まあ2つだけなんだけど。スパニッシュちょっとしゃべれるよでも。
Oh, really?
Hola, ¿cómo está? Te amo とかね。あやかは？
私は英語と日本語と中国語と韓国語も
へー。
おー、そうね。
いや、全部微妙。なので、私たちも一つの言語以上喋れるので、いろんな言語を喋る中でのプログラム、問題をちょっと今日は喋っていこうと思います。
Yeah, problems. So many problems out there.
Yeah. I guess for me, まず漢字が苦手。
あー、確かに。
なんか I could read, but I can't write.
Oh, yeah.
My education stopped since like 4th grade elementary, so I can't write kanji at all. 最近は we don't really write kanji anymore, so like you'll always use my phone and check the kanji. But I can't write at all.
I guess it happens to like a lot of Japanese people now because you don't write kanji, but I think especially more for you, right?
Yeah.
And then for me, because I lived in China, right? So people think my kanjis are really good. But kanji in Japan and China is so different.
Yeah, it's different.
So I suck at like Japanese kanji.
Really? Wow.
So I need to search when I forget, like same as Josh.
How about you, Anna? Did you have any problems, or do you have any problems now?
I mean, as a bilingual, I guess usually the vocabulary.
Oh.
Yeah, like I usually think of a word in like a different language first, so I end up mixing like my Spanish and my English and sometimes the Japanese too with like the word that comes up first, you know? So I end up speaking like Spanglish, which is what we call it, right? Spanglish or Japanglish or something like that, right? Like,
how about your like writing or reading skills, which is higher to Garu?
Definitely English. Because I mean, I grew up like almost like completely in American school, so English. And Spanish, I tried to keep my Spanish by like studying Spanish and like reading, writing and things like that, and like speaking with my parents. Never academically. And Japanese one. I'm trying. I'm trying.
With your boyfriend, right? You
Yeah.
talk with him.
I do.
How about you? I've got like big difference between the languages that you speak.
Reading は English はすごい遅くなった。Because I read more of Japanese when I started. Like I started after I started to work in Japanese company.
Okay.
So だからやっぱり言語は生きてるなって思う。The
If you
more
don't-
you use, the
yeah.
more
Yeah.
you become fluent in that language.
Unless you use more, you forget.
What about for you, Josh?
Well, I live in Japan longer than America now, so I guess my Japanese is better than my English, maybe, I feel. Because I always speak Japanese with my customers and with my family too, so I feel like my English level is like...
Yeah. めちゃくちゃ寂しい。
Yeah, I guess happens the same to me in Spanish, especially because it's very rare to find Spanish speakers in Japan. So I don't really use Spanish so much like recently. So
But you speak Spanish with your family, right?
Yeah, with my family. Sometimes. Usually Spanish, I guess, with my family. Yeah. Reading okay, I guess, but my writing in Spanish is kind of like getting bad.
So, like growing up in the States, you spoke Spanish at home and you spoke English outside your house. That was my case too. Like I spoke Japanese at home, but I spoke English outside my house. So that's why I was able to maintain like the both language. Or else, I guess you forget. Ayako wa dou datta no?
私は I spoke Japanese with my family, and at school English, and outside of school and home Chinese. So
that's so complicated.
That's so complicated.
And then like when I went to international school, I went to ESL. There are like only Korean students there. But in ESL, we were supposed to learn English na no ni we spoke Korean.
And wasn't that really confusing for you, like growing up as a kid? No?
Yeah, it was confusing.
Your language, like all four of them, like did it improve like equally, or like was it like English, then Japanese, then
Japanese こんな感じ、English こういう。Chinese は一番下かな。English はやっぱり学校で一番時間が過ごすの長かったから早かったかな。成長の速度が。
I think for me, like one of the reasons that my Spanish is still kind of good. I mean, it's pretty good, I guess. Like pretty strong is because like also where I live in Texas, but like south Texas. So I'm actually in the border with Mexico. The city where I live, like almost everyone is bilingual or like English, Spanish. Just in that area, so like I could sometimes use Spanish with my friends too. And I would end up like speaking English and Spanish with my friends, like mix. But I always try to keep my Spanish, so I would speak a lot of Spanish usually with my friends. But many kids wouldn't, right? Like just English, because I don't know, English is cool or whatever, right? Whatever. But for example, my sister is an example. My younger sister like neglected Spanish and speaks English usually with her friends only English, and sometimes with my parents too. So she for sure doesn't have a strong Spanish.
I think also it depends on like your age, like when you start that bilingual environment as well. Because I was 10, but I have a younger brother. He started when he was 6. So actually his English was much better than his Japanese.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Maybe that has a big impact.
Yeah,
as
the
well.
younger you start, the better you're at that language.
And I think, Josh, for you, like maybe outside of your parents, like in the US, like nobody really speaks Japanese. It's easy to like forget the Japanese.
That's true, but then I read a lot of comic books actually, like manga, so that helped a lot, like with my reading. Of course, I was able to learn a lot of kanji from manga. It's all like speaking stuff, right? You know, like like all
like
written. So I learned a lot from comic books. How about now, like your weakness? What?
I guess I'm losing a lot of my Spanish vocabulary.
Vocabulary.
Like for example, in English, like I use it for work in America or for university, more like academically. So I have like better vocabulary in English. But in Spanish, tends to be only with like my family or friends that speak Spanish. So I don't have like a smart vocabulary in Spanish.
How about you, Erica?
Exactly the same. Like, 英語の方が more like it stopped from like, in high school. I don't speak smart English.
It's okay, I feel you though.
Maybe I use Japanese in like at work, right? So I can speak 敬語とか or like professionally, I guess. What about you, Josh?
Well, like I said, my kanji is not that good for writing, but also like writing like reports and stuff, like essays in English. It's pretty difficult for me now, I guess, because I don't do as much.
What about like keigo?
Well, I have some experience working in Japan, like in like office environments, so not bad, but I used to be really bad. I think my Japanese used to be like really rude, like keigo, sonkeigo ga zenzen dekite nai, you know. But somehow I managed, I guess.
Yeah, I had so much problem with Japanese keigo in the work, especially in the first year. やばかった本当に。めっちゃ迷惑かけて、なんかそのお中元。It's like a seasonal gift for like client. でなんかお中元だってクッキーの詰め合わせみたいなのがあって、詰め合わせなのにこちらクッキーの寄せ集めになります。寄せ集め is like it's like you correct unnecessary stuffs.
Yeah, it could be like a problem.
Yeah, it could be a problem. They knew I was like a returnee, so they were like laughing at it. But if I was like a pure Japanese だったらちょっと it could be a problem.
Like a phone calls とか emails とか is very complicated in Japanese model. You know, a lot of rules.
There's so many rules.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, like I don't have like that experience like working at a Japanese company, like where I have to speak Japanese. So I've never had to use like keigo or sonkeigo, right? But like when I do want to make like a reservation or have a problem and I call on the phone, it's like what? Like it sounds like a completely different like
language.
Like super different. So that's super hard. As a Japanese learner, that's super hard.
Yeah. I guess there are a lot of good things about being a bilingual speaker and all, but we also have a lot of problems too, I guess. I guess we have to continue to study and get better.
Never ending. はい。こういう感じでね、バイリンガルいろいろ問題あるあるなんですけど、ね、大変だよね、バイリンガル。
なんで急に今ダメ口なの？大変だよね。でもまあバイリンガルだからいろんな人とコミュニケーションできるし、すごくいいところもあるので、皆さんも英語と日本語だったりとか、もっといろんな言語を喋ってバイリンガル目指しましょう。 はい。
はい。
Okay, so thank you very much for watching and see you guys next time.
See you. Bye.